Facebook. Hey, YouTube. We're going to cover filling out your California mandatory disclosures. All sellers need to do them so you can be protected by the full extent of the law. There's multiple reasons to do them even before. In fact, you should do them before you sell your home, before buyers ever see it. Even if you're working without realtors, you want to have these disclosures filled out ahead of time, as we discussed in other videos, because they put buyers' minds at ease. If there's a multiple offer situation, even from professional buyers, they'll be willing to bid your property up higher. I've seen many times if they evaluate you as credible and your disclosures help that. You can also eliminate buyer tricks where they like to say, well, after reviewing the property, I found these problems. Can I get the $20,000? They'll ask for $20,000 because that's how much you got them to bid up when they purchased your home. And the realtor say, don't worry, we'll get them after the disclosures. So you have your disclosures ready. You have your repair list. Say, please make your offers subject to this knowledge, because we won't be repairing these things, and your offer should be based on that. Now, I just went through this and filled this out. I did it in the previous video, and I made a mistake, and you couldn't see it as I'm doing it. So I'm going to go through this part fast, and I'm going to go through the SPQ, which will take longer. But here you'll see, when you list your property reports, you can slow this down, and you can see that, we've filled all this out. We got property items. This is part, so you go through here. Let's see if we can actually break it out into the open. It's really cool. So you can break all these things out, and instead of filling this out by hand, and I'll show you the end result in the end, you go through all of these questions, which when you do so in California, if you provide your mandatory seller disclosures, and this is part of the TDS, and you can get this form, you don't need a realtor, from the Department of Real Estate. They have a little booklet. In the end, when you do this, you get to protect yourself with California law against buyer lawsuits. So if you've disclosed this stuff and later they say there's a problem with the property and you're like, no, I disclosed it, therefore the duty was on you to inspect it, that should be seen as a strong defense and is as a strong defense to any buyer lawsuit. Now, I'm a lawyer and a realtor, and I'm not guaranteeing you're not going to get sued, but I am guaranteeing that if you fought them, you'd win. And because of that, they're going to really have to spend a lot of money. Lawyers aren't going to take it on a contingency fee, because most wouldn't, because they'll evaluate it as a loser. So you'll be protected by the law by doing these disclosures. Many people have problems with buyers after the fact. It's very common, if you've disclosed it well, it's really hard for them to show you were aware of these, that you didn't. Yeah, it's really hard for them to win. That's what I'm saying. So you can go through all these questions, and then you continue. And let's just go. Okay, so we just finished. Now I want to download and show what it looks like if I can do that. Preview PDF. So this is exactly what the disclosure looks like, only you didn't have to now that should have been paint, and you could go back and fix that, but it's beautiful. It's all filled out, and it looks better than when people fill it out by hand. If you're only using the California Transfer Disclosure Statement, you might not even want to go join my workshop at winnerscheck.com, where I'll send you, for now, I'll send you these forms. You can fill it out really, really inexpensively. It's so cheap right now because I want to see how much time it takes up so I can actually budget in the future. So right now, while you're seeing this, although normally I charge $300 or $400 for a consultation, and eventually this program will be a portion of that when I get a lot of data in there. You can fill out these forms using this software, and then we'll have a live coaching where you can ask your questions or even submit them in the community, and I'll answer them, and then I'll put the review videos in there. We're going to do this for so little right now while I develop it. It's worth it just to save the time of not filling these out by hand, and also worth it because when you're going to discuss with your realtor, you can probably negotiate your rates. I can help you. That's really the point. Fill this out. If you've done this ahead of time, I will negotiate a discount with any realtor in your area. I would highly advise you work with one that's got 20 or 30 or 40 sales. It makes such a difference. Far more than the 1.5% you might save with discount brokers. And if you're thinking about saving more than that, if they're not offering to pay buyer's agents, that's fine, but you can only sign a listing agreement for a week or two. If they haven't sold your house, if you haven't had 10 or 15 people through your property and getting a lot of offers, then that method's not working for your house. We go over that in other videos. You can go over that. We'll go over that in the in our homeowner disclosure workshop. That's what we're calling this. We'll have a Q&A in there weekly, and we'll go over how to use these things to save thousands of dollars in fees and in buyer tactics, and to boost your offers, especially multiple offer situations. So that's what that is. Now we're going to continue on to the SPQ. Now this is where the software, if you're using a realtor and using the California Association of Realtor Forms, and almost every seller it does that I know, other than multi-million-dollar people who usually have pretty interesting deals about how they're buying, it's sometimes not cash up front. They have complicated things. I've seen stock options. So like if you're in Rancho Santa Fe, La Jolla, you're selling a multi-million-dollar home, you probably are bringing a lawyer in. Sometimes it could be me to put it together, and you might not be using the car contracts. But everybody else I've ever seen does, and therefore you're going to need to fill out the seller property questionnaire because it's required by the CAR forms, the California Association of Realtor Forms. So now this is important. They explain things in here. It's similar to the stuff I do when I explain it to my clients, whether they're selling at my brokerage or they've consulted me as an attorney because they were concerned about their answers. Let me just say that many people like to either under-disclose because they're afraid or over-disclose, and then it makes no sense and they're actually hurting themselves. This is similar to the same advice you get if you're doing discovery. If you're getting interrogatories and you have to fill them out, you fill them out quickly. Now, if after you fill it out succinctly, it leaves a big question in their mouth, and by answering the question, you're not hurting the value of the property, I advise people to fill it out and put it in there. And that's why, because so many people fall into that category, we're going to have our live coaching sessions until I have enough of them that I can just put in there, and then people can learn from those, and then it'll be a different program. But right now, I've got to do live coaching along with these forms because many of you, this is going to save you an hour of your time or more, but you're still going to have questions. The questions containing SPQ ask if you are aware of various issues. If you are aware, then you respond yes, but if you are not aware, you respond no. If you respond yes to any questions, please provide as much information as possible. Now, we're not going to go over all of them unless this goes really quickly. With the last, was there a death? So you'd say no, if there wasn't a death. An order from a government official identifying the property as being contaminated by meth. The release of an illegal controlled substance beneath the property. You're going to fill these out. I'm clicking randomly because I think I have to progress the software. Property is affected by nuisance. Whether the property is located within 1 mile of a former federal, state, ordinance location in general. So if it was ordinance location, that's like a bombing range, right? Military training purposes. So now you continue. You probably yes if it's a condo, right? And then you explain it. Insurance claims affecting the property in the last 5 years. Yes, we had a leak. We had a roof leak in the family room. Matters affecting title of the property. Material facts or defects affecting the property not otherwise disclosed to the buyer. Well, in the TDS, I would have already disclosed that sometimes the water in the backyard, if it really rains hard, pools and doesn't drain away quickly enough. Now, I would explain it in detail because so far it's never been a problem and gotten into the house. And I'm not aware of any problems that it's caused. So I'd say that, but that's something I would disclose. I don't know if there are plumbing fixtures on the property that are non-compliant with fixtures as defined by... I don't know that civil code. So I think it's no. But then I might explain, I don't know the civil code. I don't know the civil code. But my fixtures are mostly 5 years old or less. Now, the lawyer in me would say I should look that civil code up and see if they comply. I have a feeling they're supposed to be low flow, right? But I feel like the answer I gave is enough of a disclosure that a court wouldn't hold that against somebody. But we're looking up anyway. Focus on non-compliant plumbing fixtures and requires the seller to disclose any plumbing fixtures are considered non-compliant. So, presuming this is correct, oh yeah, I'm sure Code's Fine Law, that's a legit website. So I'm operating an assumption this really is the code. Any toilet manufacturer to use more than 1.6 gallons of water per flush in a urinal. Again, I haven't measured it. That's how I would answer these, knowing that's not a perfect answer. It may expose me to liability. But what are they going to sue me over? The toilets. You can get toilets cheap at Home Depot. It's probably the installation that would cost you a little bit more, at least in San Diego with my workers. I don't think anyone's going to win a lawsuit over this once you've given that information. That's how I would do it. The usual lawyer caveats apply. You should talk to a lawyer. Realtors can't really answer that question for you. Sign up for our really inexpensive course at winnerscheck.com, and we will go over that if you have questions about it. And all this other stuff. And it's going to be super inexpensive because I want to make this the whole thing. You sign up. I send you this software. If you have questions, then you can write them in our community, and I'll try to answer them there, or we'll answer them live at a live training, or I'll answer them live training and then post a video. And then if you still have big questions, or if it's something I can't answer, then I'd say, by the way, you might want to set up a consult with me, and I'll do it because you're already a member, much less than my normal $300 or $400 an hour price. And we can do it by half an hour. Any modifications to the place of improvement, remodeling, or material repairs on the property? Yes, we've done extensive. I'd go through each thing I can remember. We did a lot before we, and I'm talking this, moved in. Here is a list of all the things I remember. Big issue is we put a window in the living room. It may have required a permit. I don't know. Sure. Because we once had a worker in there and said, oh, that should have been permitted. But I think he was trying to scare me, so I don't really know. But I disclose that because it's bugging me, and I wouldn't want to lie, and I remember it, so gotta disclose it. Yeah, we did tons of those. Windows, solar, Windows, solar. Okay, now I'm going to go through here. You can read them and slow this down, but I'm going to just go no so we can advance to the final product. I think it was yes. Yes. And in this case, we covered the fireplace in tile. I don't know. I'm going to say no. We had the workers do it. Don't know if they complied. We vacuumed, right? I mean, okay, I'm making light of this, but, reality is what people do. Reality is you do this stuff. 99% of the buyers aren't going to care, but let me say I once lost $90,000 because I had a buyer specifically say, if we find mold, we can't buy the property. My daughter's very subject to mold. We owned houses in Florida. Property guy came through, found mold. It was probably in the air. It was a little on the walls, probably airborne. That guy backed out of the contract. I didn't mind because he warned me ahead of time. And that was right as the market collapsed, and we sold out for $90,000 less 2 months later. I would probably, on my own, because we made a lot of repairs, I'd could probably say we did it. I mean, we improved the house. I'm not really embarrassed to say that. Was it done totally up to code all the time? I don't know. I don't mind. It looks better, right? We put in a much bigger backyard. I'm going to talk about that. That was probably done to code, but I don't know. Defects, right? No, well, no. Gutters. My gutters sometimes get overwhelmed. We put in gutters. But rainstorms, but heavy rain can still overwhelm them. Now, everyone in San Diego is like, well, big deal. It only rains a few times a year, right? And I talked in the TDS about sometimes the water pools in the backyard doesn't go out through the drains fast enough. So far, we've had no problems with it. I'd have no problem explaining that, but I'm also not going to overdo it in writing. I'm just going to state what it is. They're going to ask, oh, well, did any floods get in the house? No. The house isn't flooded. I don't know about the under the house, but the house itself never flooded while I was here. Well, we saw it. Yes, we had a roof leak. It was not paid by insurance, although we made a claim. We had it repaired ourselves. My father-in-law did it. No sign of a leak. We have not seen signs of a leak since. That last part is questionable, right? I could be adding liability if all of a sudden someone walked in there and said, oh, look at this. That's an obvious sign of a leak. Guy lied. But it was in a room. It was in our family room, which is where the roof slants down. And that's where the leak was. And I think I'd see it through the paint now. We've had a lot of rain since. So I don't mind putting it in there. But I am sort of, to make my house more palatable, I'm putting it in there. But I also might be risking some liability. So you might want to flag that for review and then talk over that with me or your realtor eventually. Oh, yes, I'm going to explain that. Roof leak. I haven't even done the whole thing, but okay, now we're going to just go no all the way, right? Until we get to some new sections. Because we're doing this this isn't, if you got yes, you're going to got dogs and cats, but we'll go no. Problems with livestock, no. 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 Continue. Nope. No. I'm just going to click no. I'm not even going to read them. You can read them if you want. Yes, there are sprinklers. They are automatic, but they're frequently not working that well. So if my automatic sprinkler is not working at the time, I'd say no, there's a sprinkler system. It doesn't work. We're not planning to repair it. It's yes, but I don't want to fill it out right now, so we'll no. Pool heater on the property, yes. 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 Well, yeah, and we got a new pool. We had the pool. I'd want to learn, I'd forgotten now the exact name. I'd call the pool guy and say, what did we do? Did we have the pool refinished? I'd want to find out. We spent a lot of money on it. I would want to find out the exact technical name and put it in there. Because when we bought the house, the pool, I don't know that it had a leak, but it was about to have a leak or it was problematic. Well, actually, you know, that's not. I'm going to be consistent. Say, yeah, but it was repaired. Yes, but we paid to have a new pool, renovated pool. We paid. Again, I'm going to find out exactly the name so I get it right. I'd say water does not drain as quickly as we would like from backyard after big rainstorms. Not aware of any damage being caused. Now, I put them on notice to do an inspection. I'm not expecting they'd find anything, but that's how I would fill that out. Let's go no, so we don't have to fill that out. But if it's yes, you'd fill that out. Now, sometimes you're going to have to learn about title from your title company. You might even have to update it. If you got additional explanations, you can put them in there. Say them there. Let's just go no. I'm not even going to read these. You can read them as you're watching the video. This is just me now trying to get us through. Yeah, we'll fill them out. Reminds me of doing TurboTax, right? We'll just go no because we should. Did finish this. So we'll hit no. No. Continue. Now we get to review our answers. Let's fix one issue. Let's fix that one issue. What is it? Please make a choice. Material defects are affecting property, not others. No. Yeah. That's a big one. Preview PDF. Now, this was so beautiful that we did it in this software, because when you'll see this, you'll see it saves so much time handwriting all this stuff in, mailing it back, or turning it into a PDF. It's really it's beautiful. It's organized. There'd be a lot of explanations we sometimes have to write in. In this case, we went no. We've got all that stuff. It's just, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, at winnerscheck.com, you can sign up for our home seller disclosure course. We're going to have, this is how it's going to work for now. You're going to fill out, you're going to sign up, fill out a little form for your property address, your names, who should be going on these forms, be both the sellers. I'll send the forms. I'll go into my software, put that information in, send the forms to you. You can fill them out, and then you can submit questions to me, and I'll cover them during our weekly coaching session, or you could just come live on the coaching sessions and ask questions. There'll also be an opportunity to upgrade to a 30-minute or hour-long consult with me, if you'd like. But we're going to be using these forms and the coaching sessions to coach you through it. And so unless you have more questions and you think, if you have, well, anyway, I just explained it. Major opportunity. And then we're going to show you in the training, in the course, how to leverage this to make more money and put more money in your pocket. There's multiple reasons. I've already got videos out there on the net. This is the place to start. Thanks. Talk to you later. My name is John McConnin. Major opportunity. Because the software technology is just making things easier. So instead of charging $300-400, we can do this for just a few bucks. All right, go to winnerscheck.com to find out more. Thanks, bye.